route, and it is the we're going to run with a J94, so we're going to get to see the whole thing. Right, so one of the innovations that this has got is the way that you fire it. So I am going to... why that? That's better. Good, right, so what you do is you press the R key to open that, and you hear a shovel. Having got a shovelful, you open the firebox, and you see the fire mass goes up by about £10. Shut the firebox. Open the control, get another shovelful. Press the thing, and it goes up by another £10. If you leave that firebox open, it cools the fire down, which is all simulated in the updated physics. Now this is superb. I love this from when I've been playing with this. Now I'm just trying to get the loco up to its ideal fire mass so that it's ready to make this ascent. Nearly there. 534. Couple more and we should be good to go. So I'm using the R key. Now if you're using the standard version, then you just use the HUD. And press the button and it will do all this for you. So just to be clear, I am using the advanced version of the loco. Right, so 555 is about the ideal fire mass. I'm just going to put a little bit more in on the top. And we're good to go. So brakes are off. Regulator applied, cylinders are open. Nice heavy train. I do need to update that, don't I? So we're now driving the Austerity J94. We're starting in Porth. And we're on our way to Maerdy. See, I've got the throttle open wide, so it's kicking out some of the fire. Let's cut that back. Right, that's better. Now the reverser is done. Right, let's get tab to go through that red signal. Now, when you're driving this, a number of things you'll notice. The water is going to bounce up and down depending on what's going on, and it's also going to be dependent on the angle of the loco. So as the loco goes up like that, so go up the hill, so the water level will actually go up in the glass, and you need to manage that. So once you're actually moving at speed and you're at the minimum reverser setting, which is 45%, then all it is a case of managing the throttle and boiler pressure. Make sure the blowers are open. So the fire mass we can see is down at 552. Boiler pressure's up at 160. Now at 170 the safeties are going off full blast. So what you want to do now is accelerate to where you can use the steam rather than it going out of the use the steam to where you're going out. Sorry, I completely lost the thread. So that you don't want to do is set the safeties off. That is a complete waste of steam. Since we're up to 165, we'll start getting the first feather on the safeties in a minute. So I can now put a bit more power in. We're now just using steam, but we're also going to get the benefit of accelerating some. Now fire mass is down to 542, so shovel, open the firebox, close that, put another one in. Another one in for good measure. There we go. Now boiler pressure is coming down now. What I've done when I've been going up this hill is basically used up to down to 160 and nothing else. And if you start getting close to 160, then because you start getting close to 160, back off the power, build it up again. Let's have a look outside. Here it is. Right, let's just watch what we're doing. Building up steam again. That means we can put more power on. That's what I like to hear. So we're coming up to the first of the abandoned stations at the moment. So let's go and stand on this abandoned station so you can see what it looks like. That's all there is to it now. There's nothing on the platform over here either. You'll notice also this is all single track, where it used to be quite busy and multi-tracked previously. So we're starting to lose boiler pressure now. It's because we're speeding up. So now we're speeding up. I'm just going to ease off the power a bit. I've also noticed that the firebox is needing a bit of assistance, so we're going to sort that out as well. She's a hungry one, this. One more for luck. Right, you can hear the safeties have started, so now I'm going to put the power on. We might as well throw it out the cylinders, there's no point throwing it out the safeties. Sorry, if anyone's saying something in the chat, they're trying to get my attention. I must admit I am focusing more on driving the loco at the moment. If you will need me to show you something or answer a question, if you fire it off to one of the moderators, they will get in touch with me via Skype or via other forms and get me to directly so that I can answer you. The chat's moving quite fast as well, so... Right, so the boiler pressure is now down to 165. We are still on power. We're actually on a 1 in 40 gradient at the moment, which is quite hefty. Fire mass is down at 545, so we've got another one in. And another one. Look after your fire and she'll look after you. Boiler pressure's going down at the moment, but I think that's okay. I mean, we are going up at 1 in 41. It's going to level off again in a minute. We're still at 162 and it's only going down pretty slowly. Right, so the next thing I need to do is get some water in, so I'm going to put the steam on and then bring the tap round. There we go, that's got water going in. No, it isn't. I'm going to take off the power at the moment, let the boiler pressure come back up and also give it a good chance on the to get water in. You can see the boiler water levels coming up nicely now. One in 65. Right, so the coal is going down, so let's get coal loaded in. 536. 547. Another one. That water level go down a bit too far really, and I'm having to let the boiler pressure come down to try and keep the speed up. So hopefully the boiler pressure can come back up a bit now. So you notice the boiler water level just shot down to about 0.53, and it's because we've levelled off, the water level has come down in the glass. Which is it's the same amount of water in the boiler, but you're seeing it differently because of the way if you imagine if you hold a glass in front of you and you tip it towards you, you'll notice that the level appears to go up the line of the glass, when in actual fact the water level has stayed exactly where it is. And that's basically what's at work here. And it plays an important role, because you could be going up a steep hill and see that you've got plenty of water, and then you suddenly level off, and all of a sudden you're exposing the fusible plugs and end of scenario. And similarly, you could be going down a hill, throwing water in as fast as you can, desperately trying to stop it uncovering the fusible plugs. Then suddenly you go from this to this, and now all of a sudden you're putting water, actually you're priming, and you've got water going into the cylinders. And all of that's simulated in here, which just makes life interesting. Right, so the water's in nicely now, we're up to 82%, and we're on a 1 in 50 gradient, we're doing 16 miles an hour, boiler pressure is at 160. Get the boiler pressure, the water up to 85, and then we'll cut it, and that'll hopefully let the steam build back up again. Alright, so that says 96. So now that we've stopped putting water in, we can now put some power on, because we're not hurting our boiler pressure. So we're on at 1 in 32 at the moment. Costing boiler pressure at the moment. Alright, fire mass is down to 530, let's get the coal in. Tough old climb. Right, let's put that in. How are we doing? 1 in 52. We should start. We're picking up speed again now, and we're still above the 160 psi, which is good on the boiler. That's 20 minutes to play with. Right, so we're 1 in 79 at the moment. Actually, I need to put water in again. Let's get the coal going again. So pretty much the story of the journey going up here is put more coal in. Basically we're going either side of the ideal mass, around 555. We're on a 1 in 85, we're going over 17 miles an hour, and that's actually costing us steam quite considerably. So I'm going to cut the power now and see if I can't encourage that boiler to come back up a bit. It's going to cost us some speed, but that's fine, we need boiler pressure. We've got another leg of the hill to climb in a minute. Do you know what the speed limit is? Yeah, it's 30. It's a lot faster than we're going. With a heavy train like this, it really isn't about speed. How long is the longest scenario for the route, BNSF? I'll have a look when we finish. I don't know off the top of my head. boiler pressure's come up to about 153, water level's coming up again, which is useful. Mistral says unless you're going down. Mad Joy of Lango, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Right, let's turn the water off. Boiler pressure's up over 160 now, so I can definitely afford to put some more power into the regulator. Angry Welshman, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. How's that fire doing? 540, small coal in. 558, one more for luck. That's it. Off the right, boiler pressure's going up, so I'm going to take advantage of it, as you do. Get some speed up because we've got quite a steep incline coming up here. Right, so I'm backing off the power a little bit. We hit 18. We're on a 1 in 43 gradient now, so we're on the way. To ease the regulator up to where I'm trying to balance the steam generation and usage, so we can get as much power as we can out without it costing boiler pressure if possible. This is the ride up to, I can't remember the name of the old station there now. Again, all the stations are there, with the exception of Maerdy, and I think one of the station platforms is still there, but they're not actually stations anymore. Llama Farmer, nice username, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. So in a minute that water level is going to go shooting down, so I'm going to get ready to throw the injectors on. Ferndale, that's it. I've just been reminded by Mistrals. A little bit more power. It's going to cost us boiler pressure, but get us into Ferndale. We've got a 20 limit as we get into Ferndale. That's not really the problem. The 15 at Ferndale actually is where you're going to run into a problem, because it's all level on the run up to there, so it's really easy to get over 15, even for me. So we're still above 160 psi, so we're still in good shape. Boiler pressure, boiler water level is down to quite low. Firebox is very low. Yeah. The Hitchhiker, thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Whatever you do, don't panic. Right, let's get water on. Alright, we've got Plenty of coal in there. Yeah, the water did take a nosedive. So this is Ferndale. You remember there was a station here? Not anymore. And the other track has gone as well. There used to be a track here, signals, all sorts of things. There was a yard actually over here. This used to be a yard. You can see where it sort of used to be. And there was an engine shed there. It's really good. It's a bit like coming back to a route later on and seeing what's changed. So back on another grade, 1 in 43. Yeah, but this is a slow run. I've done this a lot faster. I missed a follow. I do apologise. Let me just have a look. Ajax 50046. Thank you for the follow. Hoover fan. Is it Bill or Ben? I don't know. It's neither of them. Bill and Ben are a different shape. Right. Now the water's off, I can put more in there. Up to 168 actually. Definitely going to put the water on again. Still in the 15 limit at the moment, but as I said, it's easier to accelerate when you're in the 15 section, so you need to watch it. We're about to get another uphill section. 540 on the fire, let's put more in there. Safeties have just tipped over. Alright, it's about to get hard again. We reached the 25, we're about to hit the 25. You see the speed limit over there on the left. Speeding up. Boiler pressure is in pretty good shape. Water level's not bad. Bring the regulator back. We're not in the 25 yet. You get the 25 just as you hit the hardest bit of the hill. Right, are we in the 25? We're in the 25. The water level is now showing 96%. That's because again we've gone up, so the water level has gone up. That probably didn't help at all, but it looked amusing. Right, so we're using a little bit of boiler pressure. We're just about maintaining speed. I'm just going to check the map, see what the map is telling us. That junction there. So once we get up to Maerdy, we have a signal just around there somewhere. How are we doing? Coal in easing. Some coal in. I love this because you actually feel like you're participating in the act of firing the loco, even though I'm just pressing a couple of keys, but you know, it just feels a bit more positive. One in 40 gradient at the moment. We haven't hit the worst of it yet. We've still got much to do. Red leathery, yellow leathers. Thanks for the follow, much appreciated. 14.5. Boiler pressure is pretty much holding dead steady actually at the moment. If anything, we're gaining. I can put a bit more power into that. What do we got now? 1 in 34. mind consuming a bit of boiler pressure. This is pretty much the last major lump until we can build up a bit of boiler pressure as we go through Maerdy. Good night, OMG. Boiler pressure's coming down a bit now, so I'm going to ease the cut-off back. 1 in 42, we can see the top of the hill is in sight. Right, let's just check the blue line, see where we're going to the right place. We need to go to the right place. Excellent. The blue line takes us where we need to go. Right, we have a fixed distance, so we need to keep an eye out for our remote, our home signal, which is around the corner here somewhere. The fire is getting low. Get some coal in. Fireman's not doing his duties. Oh, look at that bounce. That firebox, that boiler, because that's going to get serious in a minute. Also running low on boiler pressure. Right, so I'm going to cut back on the power, put the water on. Right, 1 in 54. We're on our way up now. We can see the signal at the top of the hill. Just need to see what state it's in. What's the beeping from the low? I don't know what the beeping is. The squeaking sounds, things like that. So home signal is red. Now I was warned this might be the case. But I will have to spad this, because even though the path is clear, one of the issues on this scenario is that it's not actually, it doesn't set this signal correctly. So the dispatcher that wrote the scenario has given me permission to brake to run the signal. Right, this is also a 15 limit, so I'm going to cut the power. That will get the boiler pressure back up, water level will come back up. We've also got to run through this yard here. Water level, fire mass is still doing good, in fact it's nigh on perfect. Boiler pressure is coming back up. Need to get a bit of air flowing over everything. Turn the blower on. Water level is about 61, going up quite rapidly. Right, we've got one more big hill to climb now. We've got this hill just starting after we get past here. I want to get the water up. I'd like to get the boiler pressure up a little bit more, but right, boiler pressure is now roaring up. Slowing down, but that's okay. Remember to use the hill as an advantage to slow you down. I don't think I'm going to have a problem slowing down. Right, boiler pressure almost up to the 160s, which is where we need it to be. accelerating. Are we on the? Yeah, we're on the 1 in 46. This goes up to a 1 in 29. Alright, 544, let's get some coal in. This is where we're going to need all the boiler pressure we can get. Cross over on the next switch. Boiler pressure's going up, so I'm going to accelerate. Speed limit at the moment is 20 going up this hill. I believe the switch is just up here. Yes, it is. We are on 1 in 32. Regulator is wide open. We're accelerating. 1 in 36. That. That's amazing. What a climb. It's one of my favourite routes, Maerdy, and this is a really nice updated version of it. Boiler pressure is now finally starting to go down, but the fire mass is under where it should be, so let's put some coal in. Good fighting chance. Right, that's the yard up there. All we need to do is cruise her into the yard now. Start easing back on the regulator. I think it's 15 up here, it certainly is. Time-wise, oh, we're actually not going to be too bad. We're late, but we're not going to be more than a minute or two late. Unfortunately, there's another error in the scenario, which means you can't get a positive score because it fails the last instruction. No matter what you do, never mind. I'm sure it'll be fixed. This is a really good scenario. It's a really good exercise in learning how to drive, how to get the best out of this steam engine. Right, so as we come about a little way up here to where roughly where these wagons are, is where it sort of levels out. Then we need to stop. Now that's the challenge. This is a little loco. This is really, we're just driving the loco brake, which means that stopping this thing is going to be fun. So I'm slowing down. I'm not going to get any points for going any faster, so I'm not going to try it. So I'm going to let the safeties are about to go. There they go. Get water in. All this echo, I can't hear whether the water's going in. Right. Brakes on. Right, water's going in at least. That's the second whistle. Right, come in here and then slow down and stop. It's not my fastest run up the hill, but we got up at the hill and we were only a couple of minutes late. Could have been worse, that's the way I look at it. Right, steam brake on. Oh, and then we get the quail. So there you go, folks. That is Return to Maerdy with the J94. and the Type 3B. Just to give you a look at the scenarios again. These are the scenarios. Someone asked what the longest scenario was. That's this scenario with the 3B called Overtime, which is 55 minutes. The rest are all, give or take, around 30-35 minutes, something like that. What is that? Normandy. It's Maerdy. Is written on the side. NCB spelled it wrong. They spelled it M-A-R-D-Y, and so it's authentically and accurately represented. It's supposed to be M-A-E-R-D-Y, which is what the name of the route is actually down as you can see here. Return to Maerdy. But yes, NCB spelled it wrong. Never mind. So that's what's on the side of the loco. So you've got these scenarios. You've got the advanced version of the J94. You've got the standard version of the J94. Now I just drove the advanced version. If you drive the standard version, it's going to drive pretty much like every other Steam engine that you've got in the game. So you've got a full use of the HUD and the Xbox controller to drive it. You've got the Type 3B battery loco, which we had a look at with the training time scenario. And then you get the route, which is a slightly updated to 1970s version of the route. And it's so all the platforms, stations have been stripped bare. A couple of the platforms have actually been lifted. When you go past Maerdy, the whole area of the platform has actually gone and been actually fenced off. First Gear Sims asked, does it have a dynamic whistle? So you've got a short whistle on the space bar and a long whistle on the B key, essentially. And I showed you both of those. Right. I think that's it, really. That's the end of that one. That's coming soon on Steam from Mesh Tools. If there's any feedback for that one, pass it all over to the Facebook and Engine Driver and so forth, and we can pass it on to Mesh Tools. But I have to say, that's really good fun. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Watch out for that one coming out soon. Right, it's time to get on with our regular program of events. Let's move. I'll put it back on the changing route for a minute, and then we will we'll move on to. I can't remember what we're doing next. Let me have a look. I'm going to have a drink first. I'll be back shortly, folks.